on this, the 18th of these videos on spiritual aloneness, we'll turn to St. Catherine of Siena. And we'll take a moment just to start to be here and aware of God's presence in our lives. And St. Catherine writes, "What is it you want to change? Your hair, your face, your body. Why? For God is in love with all those things, and he might weep when they are gone." These words make me smile. The idea of God weeping because of the very things that we want to change about ourselves, maybe a little bit too much, making God like ourselves. But I think the point is very well taken, and it is especially well taken, I think, for us who live alone, and maybe who dream or fantasize or really strongly desire not to live alone. When she asks, what is it you want to change? It could be those things too, and I think we need to look very carefully at how we want to change and to see why it is we want to change, and whether that's a representation of how we don't accept the fact that God loves us very much as we are, cherishes us deeply, deeply. And so the sort of kind of self-hatred or self-criticism that can become a very real part of our lives, we may even invite God to be a part of that. And God, I think, doesn't want to be a part of that. God is not into fat shaming or all those other ways of shaming that we run into. Rather, God loves us and deeply, deeply loves us as we are. Maybe for our own happiness wants some sort of a change to take place, but that comes out of a deep sense of love. And one of the things that we can find very difficult in our lives is that we do live alone and we feel like we need to change that for us to be happy. But I think it's worth considering that maybe the Lord enjoys these moments when we can be alone with God, focused on God, that God loves the intimacy that God can have with us precisely because we're alone. It invites us to a deeper intimacy, a closeness that we can achieve through our spiritual aloneness. And in that case, we want to be so reluctant, to feel bad about the aloneness that we have when we realize that it can become and does become a wonderful way to experience the depth of God's love for us. We don't want God to weep because we weep because we're alone, and God cherishes the time that we are with God because we are alone.